I'm on and doing my thing. I got my cards out here and I'm going to sketch this rose for my nurse friend. And wait for a tarot card reading. I wanted to say thank you for 899 subscriptions. It's something I never thought I was going to get. So, I really didn't. And I really appreciate all you guys for everything. Because I wouldn't have gotten no 899 subscriptions without everybody. And I'm gonna do this rose a little bit different than I did the others. Because one of my besties at work likes purple roses. So I'm thinking about doing the whole background purple. And doing a whole melody of different purples on this rose. I think that would be very fun. And I got all my Amazon came in. And I'm very happy about it. I got my mushroom complex today that came in. All my hemp oil too came in. I'm very excited about that too. I love hemp oil. I use it on my skin. There are all kinds of it out over there on Amazon. I swear one day it would be awesome if Amazon sponsored me. This is what I aspire for in life. Amazon sponsoring me. But I'm making all of this purple. And then I'm going to sketch the rose and then do black against the purple. I think that would be fun. Make this kind of like a gothic rose. Play around with the roses. Everyone loves a rose. That's my new little technique that I'm just having fun with all the little clouds. Oh, got 8 people already. Oh, you like purple roses too? Yeah, my friend wants me to make this so. But yeah, you just take the chalk, the pastel chalk, the chalky ones, not the soft pastel, and you just put it over there and you put in circular motion and rub it in, and it looks like little clouds. And then you can start your sketch. I do it with pencil, and then I have soft pastels. I do like painting. I have not painted for a while because I'm trying to get this whole technique down that my friend, one of my resident friends, is teaching me. And it kind of makes you thinking of morality of life. I could see, and I was listening to Jim Morrison and Lou Reed and everything. That's why there's all these different songs on the videos that I post out. Because I have Google Photos, and it takes all of my stuff and makes videos. And I don't know, I just vibe with Jim Morrison. You know, he lived. He wasn't a sheep. He just lived really like how he wanted to live and went out like he wanted to go out. I mean, he died like a rock star. So now Elvis, His was more depression, I think. That's why he had all those pills. So, but this is how it look. If you have the cloudy look, it looks really nice. And it's like, oh, hello, Grayson and John. You like that? Yeah, I just do this just for my background. And I feel it looks better when you start sketching it, honestly. It really does. And roses, once you practice them enough, they're so easy because like I said, I think it's another one. I dedicate all this to Thomas Denny because he was a famous artist for the Cleveland Indians, which is now the Guardians, because the Native Americans got upset. And the thing is it wasn't like Ohio was trying to be mean to the Indians. It's just we thought it was a nice name, and honestly, I always refer to them as the Cleveland Indians. I still keep all my Cleveland Indian stuff because to me, I grew up going to the stadium to see the Cleveland Indians, and they, I guess, got offended. So they changed our name to the Guard. We had to change it to the Guardians, and I have not been to a baseball game since then. Baseball is something that I like to see live. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Football, you can watch football on TV and still have like a really good time. But for some reason, baseball is great live. And the X used to find all these cheap seats, and they'd be like right behind the pitcher's mound all the time. Oh, hi, Melissa. How you doing? Yeah, and we would just like go, and it was really cool. I don't know what it was about baseball and just being there live. But it's something that is fun live. But I have been to football games. I've seen the Cleveland Browns. I was in Dog Pound. Because I do love the Cleveland Browns, and I think I always will love the Cleveland Browns, even though they lose a lot and they have their issues. I still like them because my mother would roll over and probably haunt me from her grave if I did not. So, and they used to be really good when I was younger. They really were. They were. That was when they were the cardiac kids. They almost won the Super Bowl when I was younger. And I really don't know what happened after that. It was like every year it got worse. And sometimes I think they cheat. So I remember when the Indians they almost won. They were doing so good and almost won, and just because our population wasn't as well, they just somehow, the Colorado just won out, and I think it was the TV people that did it. I had a whole party planned, but I guess that's TV for you. They like to go by ratings and all this stuff. But yeah, I do like football. The Steelers, I'm not a fan because I'm just not. They're the rivals. They've always been a rival to Cleveland, so I think if I did ever get like rich and moved out of Ohio, I think I would still like I would still like Cleveland teams. I would. I mean, I wish they weren't shitty every year. This would really be nice. But I guess it's the fate of the world sometimes. But it's just nostalgia. I think when sometimes you have good memories of something, that's when you stick with something. Because I remember when my uncle always had season tickets to the Cleveland Indians all the time when I was younger. And times was better then. Hi from McKinney, Texas. Oh, okay. I have never been to Texas. I've been to Kentucky and drove through every those kind of states going to Disney World. I have not been to Texas. I mean, I don't eat steak, but I hear the steak is good over there. So, I don't know if I stayed married longer and things would have worked out with the first marriage. I probably would have ended up in Texas too. He was a truck driver. So, he used to tell me he didn't need a map. He was one of these guys. And he did not need a map. He did not need a GPS. This man literally he was a, I don't know, he just knew where he was going. He would go get a paper map, and I guess because he was an over the road truck driver before I met him. But, alright, try and get this down this way. But it's not that hard. I'm just doing this rose because it's not too bad of a sketch. And I'll tell you how cool it'll look. But I heard Texas is very nice. I always see like Texas stuff on YouTube. And then of course you guys with your guns. Texas is known for their guns. But I can't really talk because we're gun holders ourselves, so. And everybody's licensed. It's not even licensed to carry. I think a lot of people can have guns. A lot of it, or license. You could just freely have it out in the open in Ohio now. It used to not be that way, but it is now. I'm taking these little lines and putting them in here because that's kind of where you want to be when you do that. I'm going to come in this way to give it dimension because this is kind of how you want to do it. And it even doesn't take that long. I give these things out for presents because we gotta save our money in this economy because I don't know what's going on with this tariff war. Oh, I haven't missed a thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this tariff war no more. And I literally went and I bought all kinds of stuff from Amazon, just like a lot of toilet paper and everything. Because I don't know what's going on and how it's going to work out. Or I don't know what my computer is doing. I just want to do this simple sketch and really kind of make it gothic and pop out. I do like the gothic stuff a lot. I'm not going to lie. And I do, my favorite sketches to do is the Grim Reaper. I love the Grim Reaper. I think I like the Grim Reaper because it represents change. And change is neither bad nor good, but I don't know, I just don't like fluffy people. when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know, the Reaper sketches are badass. They really are. I have him on my post. I do the Reaper every once in a while. It takes me forever to get his little bones perfect. It really does. His little bones are so hard to get. If you guys ever try the Reaper sketch, make sure you have about like 2 hours to get it perfect. Because that's about how long it took me. And it's really hard. And what I ended up doing is practicing skulls. I would just do like skull practice at first. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I would just do some skull practice. And it really does work. Because that's what I did. I just practiced skulls for the longest time. And it was hard. Skulls are they're very difficult. They're very cool, but very difficult at the same time. Because I'm a kind of person that I like to challenge myself every day. I be challenging myself with all kinds of stuff. And I do recommend doing that for that because that really helped me. It really did. Alright. I put a leaf there for some reason, but I'm going to bring this around here. And I always fix it in this phase. Even if you make mistakes, it's okay. And I realized I never used to do this before, but I probably should have. It was like one of those things. If you practice with the pencil, even on the pastels on your poster board, you could make a oopsie and always fix it up all the time. And the thing about roses is they're so damn intricate, it will blow your mind trying to make sure all of them are perfectly propped and everything. See, I got this, and it looks like crap so far, but once you get all the little details and get things and get the middle done, then it stops looking like crap so much. It really does, I promise you. But it does at first look like crap. Sometimes I like to just do the outside first. Right here. I'm going to get this one, this part. And sometimes I like to do the middle last. But if you guys want a reading... Oh, hi, Carl. How you doing? If you guys want a reading, I am doing readings. But I'm not one of these people that is going to talk about spirituality all day long. I don't think anybody in their right mind should think about this kind of stuff all day long. I don't. I did find out from my friend that is very spiritual, and I like to call her a white lighter because she's so damn bright. She's like and bubbly. She's like a damn light bulb, and it's crazy. She says that if you take moon water, I didn't even know there was a thing of moon water. You think I would, but I don't. But I guess this moon water, if you put out water by the moon, and then you bring it in the next day, you could cleanse your crystals this way. This is what she says, and she's pretty good. She can't see dead people, but she could do other things. She can hear them, but she can't see them. She helps me out with some things, and I help her out with others. Because sometimes if you're too bright, you can't see the dead. And it's true fact. It really is. I don't know why. It is what it is in that sense. Alright. I'm going to do another piece down here, and I'm going to widen up this rose. I'm doing this kind of like a big leaf. I find it way easier to do it like a big leaf. When you're doing this, for some reason, it just turns out way better. And then you just take like little details, like like roses are not perfect. They never will be. And it's okay. But that's just how life is here. And the thing the fun facts about a rose is everyone is unique. They kind of remind me of a snowflake. Every rose you look at literally is unique. I don't know why. They just are. And I just find it fascinating that they're all unique, but different, but the same. They're kind of like people. And then I did talk to my friend from work. I call her the sheriff because everyone at work is terrified of this woman. I worked with her for 5 years. And I swear to God, she ran out her ex-husband, and her ex-husband's terrified of her too. Because I was asking her about this whole business with all these parasites going on. And I'm talking about they're finding stuff in the wilderness. And it looks terrible, some of the stuff. And when I say terrible, I mean these animals have all these different. They got all these things over them. It's like this bacteria. And I asked her, I go, is this a thing? And then they go, and they're always getting these things off there. Not even barnacles, they're parasitic bacteria. It is very alarming because that's messed up. That's all I gotta say. It is really messed up. I just can't believe there's parasitic bacteria that's doing this kind of damage in the world, and there's not a state of emergency about it. I feel that if there's something attacking the environment this bad, I feel like there should be a world movement. Because this bacteria is ugly. I watch cysts being taken out. Because I watch this surgeon. And she's always, it's under the pimple popper lady. But really, she did no pimples like that. They're not. Not at all. It's a cyst. They're mostly cysts. But to me, we're medical people. We think things like this look cool. We're weird sometimes in medical. But anywho, we were talking about this bacteria, and she says it's in the water, and I was telling her they always take out this bacteria with this yellow stuff, and they put it on the animals. And she knows her shit. That's why I call her the damn sheriff. Because I'm just erasing this middle out. I need to start getting this inner layer. But yeah, she told me that it's there, and she don't know why it's there, but she goes, it's the water, and I don't know if we're responsible for this. But she is. But she was telling me that it's some kind of, they probably do probiotics or something like that. And I'm telling you that if we are responsible for things like this, we should all be ashamed of ourselves in the human race. because these poor animals that are going through all this, and it's parasitic bacteria. Parasitic bacteria is way worse than regular bacteria. And it's in the swamps and everything. I don't know if it's of natural selection and always was there. And I hope to God it was, because if we did this, we're killing our own environment. And just speaking from a medical standpoint, even if you don't give a damn about any animals, which some people don't, the thing is, you eat them. And if these things have parasitic bacteria and we're eating them, I mean, they could sit in the animals. And then if they're getting in all these tigers and everything in the swamps, and it's traveling through the water, eventually it's going to make it to the cows and just a lot of different creatures that we really kind of don't want to have it. I mean, it's going to come down to where this bacteria, because this is something I do know a lot about because I am a medical, and bacteria and stuff like this, I don't know, it piques my interest. It's like that with medical people, but if it does persist, it will get eventually over there. And I like to call it when the bacteria it's kind of like COVID with the different strains. Eventually, it's going to get smarter. It is a living organism. People do not think it is, but it is. It absolutely is. Just like COVID. It didn't go away. It never is going to go away. It's the new flu. That's why the babies that are being born right now have an immunity to COVID. They do. They absolutely got immunity. The only people that are going to die from COVID now are the people that been already born. And if this parasitic bacteria is going and infesting these animals, eventually it's going to come down to where it's going to get in the hamburger. We already had mad cow disease. And mad cow disease was a parasitic bacteria. And it really concerns me. It says in the end of days that we will destroy ourselves. It's been said by a lot of people, and I used to think they were crazy. And then laugh out loud, the crazy woman's thinking other people are crazy. But yeah. And that's the thing. It's maybe they're right. Maybe this is the way we're going to die. I don't know. I really don't. But it's very scary. Because this kind of bacteria that's going around and infecting the swamps is eventually going to move somewhere else. Then eventually it's going to move to the oceans. And then it's going to move over to the rivers. And then what are we going to do? All these people that are greedy, that guy was sitting on $1 million that contributed to all of this, they're going to be dead. And if you're dead, it doesn't matter how much money you have, because your ass is dead. So I don't know, but she says it is a thing, and because I was asking with all these explorers how they're getting rid of this bacteria, and she told me exactly the thing they're using. So I don't know. All I know is it's very disturbing. And I think we all should kind of, I don't know. It would be nice if the world gave a damn, but I don't think anybody really cares that is benefiting from all this, and what's benefiting from all this is bigger business. They don't care. I mean, they're going to be dead. But the thing is your kids are going to be alive, and then your grandkids are going to be alive. Your descendants are going to be, and then if you believe in reincarnation, you're going to be alive again, and you're going to have to deal with maybe having parasites. And this really is the reason why we should care a little bit about our environment, because it's medically being proven now, all of this. And people, I guess, they care about their own skin, and that's okay. I mean, not everybody's meant to be a saint, but I guess if you want to eat without consuming that and all those bumps and all that's around all those animals, that's what's going to be around us. I'm going to make a real big leap over here. Alright, I'm going to make it just... I like to kind of do squiggly lines up here because sometimes it's like that. And I'm not saying maybe the environmentalist, maybe, one day I could see if I could team up with some environmentalists. Because I'm very concerned about this. And I do want to know where that yellow stuff they're using. Because they put this yellow stuff. And I know that they give them, like, if they're taking it from a tiger, all this stuff off of them. They use, I don't know what the yellow paste is, but I know it's probiotics and probably some kind of antibiotics. So, but she says to get it from the swamp, and there's really nothing we could do. So, and if it's already gone to the swamp, eventually it's going to other sources. I don't know, maybe it's better for us to be vegetarians or something for a while until they figure out what's going on. I mean, I'm practically a vegetarian myself. I know my kids aren't, but I do care about the animals. And, and our beloved cows eventually are going to get this. They already get, sometimes with certain meat, you get mad cow disease. And maybe this was the source of some of the mad cow disease that was going around not too long ago. And mad cow disease, folks, when it gets to your brain, it fries it. And there's really nothing they could do, and you end up in a nursing home or whatever. And then this mad cow, I took care of a lady that had mad cow disease. She was like in her 30s. She completely lost her mind, and it was sad. Her kids were sad, and I was like, "What?" I even said, "What happened?" She's not that old, but it was mad cow disease. And it was from eating hamburger. So, I'm not sure if there's any way of fixing it. Honestly. It really, you never know. I'm putting the veins in the leaves, but I do care about the environment, and I'm hoping that maybe one day somebody cares about it again, and I see these poor animals, they're full of sores. And the thing is, if we consume what's infected, we're going to have it. I've taken care of people in their 20s when I was at the hospital, and they had the one girl, she got, I think it was when meningitis was going around. And she came back from, I think it was basketball practice, straight A student and everything, and literally woke up and didn't know even who her mother was. But if the waters in the swamp areas are getting this infected, and this is just not in this country, because I watch the explorers in every country. That means every country eventually is going to get affected. And there's going to be a national thing going on eventually. All right. I got Quran. Okay. You want to know what's stored for you for this week? I could do that for you. I got this so far. I just play around with this road. Sometimes you gotta add leaves and all that. But yeah, this is what's been disturbing me. I've been asking all my smart friends at work about this bacteria, the parasitic bacteria that's getting in the animals. And they're trying to not make sure it gets in livestock, but you know how these things are. They tried that too, and mad cow disease went on. So, but I think we just need to get more wise, and I think a lot of parasites and all that go through garbage. And I think a lot of this has to do with our garbage problem. We take garbage and put it in the oceans. We don't think about what happens. And parasites breed in garbage. I think this is because of the garbage problem. I really do. Because scientists have been upset about the garbage for years, and they've been wanting to clean the oceans because you get parasites from that. And our oceans are not meant for all that. And when these parasites take over sea life and things like that, sometimes they don't die. Sometimes they're a host, and it travels. So, I mean, all this parasitic bacteria could come out through your fish. If you think about a medical standpoint. And I think of a lot of things in a medical standpoint because it makes sense. If you don't think about it and the biology and the things like it's supposed to be, then it doesn't make sense. But yeah, this is a total thing. And all these parasitic bacteria, which I have treated them and taken care of people that had them, they all died. People a lot of times don't live from parasitic bacteria. You just die. You get mad cow disease, you're not going to live. And it's a parasite also. And the lady was an RN making over 100,000 a year and had it all, and it was gone. And then within 6 months, she was dead, and she was on a feeding tube. And I think this is the universe's way of getting even with us for not being careful and taking our planet for granted. I do have some deep thoughts. But I'll start with Karan, and then I'll go to you, Tracy. All right, Karan. For this week, I don't know why these two cards were here. My cat's been driving me nuts today. Chong wants to try to go off leash. I'm terrified of him going anywhere outside. I won't even let him eat the grass. I won't. I won't let my dog. Don't let your dogs eat grass or anything. I yell at him every time he eats the grass. I'm terrified of all these germs and everything that's everywhere. This is a horrible issue. I don't even know how long it's going to take for this kind of stuff to get fixed. All right, Kron. This week you're in a new moon Sagittarius, which is good. It just talks about luck, and luck is good. And what's surrounding your luck forecast this week is a full moon in Libra, which just means you're going to equal out, like a win-win type situation. Like on Seinfeld, they always used to have, like Jerry Seinfeld used to always equal out. you're going to equal out in something. And then you got the full moon of Virgo. And the full moon of Virgo just means you're worried about, it's just you're worried about, you don't know if things are going to go through and things. But I feel this is financial. I feel this has nothing to do with love. And financial is important because you don't want to be homeless. I've been watching these YouTubers and all around about these homeless, and it looks terrible to be homeless. I don't know if I could be homeless. I'm allergic to half of the outside. This is why I go to work and double glove half the time. So, and I do. I be double gloving at work. You just don't want to be around a lot of stuff. And maybe I'm a germaphobe because of work. I don't know. I do take a lot of supplements. I got my mushrooms and my mushroom complex. I got fish oil. I got a bunch of stuff and I take it. And the mushroom complex, the one nurse told me, will make you high if you take too much of it. But she said it's healthy and it's good for your digestion and stuff. I got the pills. And it wasn't even overly a lot of money. The mushroom complex with the lion's mane and stuff can get pricey. It's like around 30. But you get like 60 pills, so it's not too bad. But you are good this week, Ron. So now Tracy. Okay. Let's see what you have in store for you. I'll see where your energy field's at. That's just the easiest way to do this, is by energy. We're all about energy. We are an energy being. Even scientifically, that's why when you put your finger in a light bulb, you can get electric current goes through you. You have a lot of electricity in you, in your natural conductor. That's why energy is so important. And it's medically proven. Alright. Now, Tracy, you are in a new moon in Capricorn. And this just talks about hard work paying off. And that's good. I see that you've been working on something, like a goal. I see a set goal, which is good. I have a lot of goals. I'm always working on some kind of goal all the time in my life. And then you're surrounded by a new moon in Pisces and a cardinal moon. And a new moon in Pisces just tells you that meditate, contemplate, or manifest, however you want to think of it. I don't know, this manifesting thing, it takes a lot of thought, more deep thoughts than I have sometimes. But that's what that card is. And then a cardinal moon, which just means you're kind of afraid to move forward or backwards. You just stay in one spot. And I see this as like a financial goal. I see it in baby steps. I see it's not going to be like a come all at once type thing, which is probably good because anything that comes really fast doesn't last. And this really is true facts. If it comes too easy, it leaves too easy. Anything I've ever gotten that's lasting has come in little phases. So, but yeah, I'm terrified of this bacteria. Terrified. And my friend, she told me that this has been going on for a while. So, This is what she says. And I do believe her. Because she knows a lot of stuff. And I don't know. I'm terrified for people. I'm terrified for the planet because this is no good for nobody having all this stuff going on. And we already have COVID, and they're already digging up. And another thing, I think people don't really realize, which maybe they should. I was around when King Tut. I went to see him at the museum. When they dug up King Tut, he was amazing looking. I seen him in person. It's like one of my favorite things I've ever done. So, but anyways, King Tut, when they did excavate and everything, when you unearth these things, you unearth new viruses also. Because some things are buried in the earth and they're meant to stay buried. And sometimes I do love archaeology, love it. It's like one of my favorite things to do. But at the same time, archaeology sometimes digs up stuff because everyone that did the tomb and went inside and stuff, they got sick from a respiratory disease, or just they got a thing, whatever it was, and it was called the King Tut's curse. They all died. They were all wearing ICU, and all the scientists that were involved died. Maybe us like unearthing and digging up the earth, we're digging up things that we had immunity to thousands of years ago, but we don't now. This could be where a lot of this bacteria is coming also, when I was thinking. So, I don't know. Whatever it is, the problem just isn't going to go away. I'm just like sculpting all the little leaves now. But I don't know. Hopefully, there's a lot of really smart scientists and doctors out there. Hopefully, somebody figures it out. But when this happens, you're gonna see a population decrease. And generally, it's children and elderly that go first, and pregnant. Because you're the most vulnerable. So, usually you see mortality rates doing this. It's sad, but there's going to be a lot of babies that are going to be going, and you're going to see a lot more cancer. Because cancer, my friend, multiplies in 8. If you have 8 cancerous cells, the next day you get 64, then 64 times 8. That statistic right there can be kind of truly terrifying for all the parents out there. Because sometimes this is what happens. A lot of the times. And these are true facts. I don't lie. I like to study things. And a lot of times when things get introduced to the environment like that, there's an increase in cancer. And the thing is, cancer is very intelligent too. Cancer, that's why certain cancers, the cure for certain cancers, getting another cancer. That right now, currently, the cure for breast cancer gives you uterine cancer. Because that's when your cells cluster up and they just become a matted mess. That's it. They just get all matted. And when they mat up in a mess, they go in clusters and then they multiply and then they take over the host until it destroys the host. Kind of like those things that are going on in all these swamps. And the thing is, we're not going to survive it. We're not. There'll be some people that survive, but you're going to see a lot of population decrease. You know, it might be your own kid. It might be your niece. It might be your nephew. That's why we should care about what we put in our bodies and what we put onto the environment. Because I'm telling you, this garbage is an environment. We, as medical people, I can't, depending on if we got stuff going on, I got to wear a mask or I got to wear gloves. Yada, yada, yada. We all get it. That's what medical people do. But if I got to do that for garbage just to not give people COVID or this or that, what are we doing every day? And we're consuming, all the meat eaters out there. We're going around and eating it. So eventually it's going to give people even more cancerous stuff and all that, this garbage. I don't know the answers, but I do know it needs to be addressed because the problem is only going to get bigger and bigger. When your furry friends are coming home with cancerous tumors and your hamburger has parasitic bacteria, you're going to see your loved ones dropping dead soon. And that's going to be terrible. I just simply took an eraser to the middle of this and sculpted the inside. But yeah, medical could be scary. And I don't mean to scare you guys. I'm warning you guys because I feel everybody should be warned about these kind of things because environmental things are something that affect every human being. Every human being. And when it comes to medical stuff, yeah. And I don't think we think about that topic deep enough. I'm making these black because she likes black. I mean, they'll eventually come out with a cure. Yes, but they're going to wait till... Sometimes these governments wait. They wait until enough people die. Because honestly, why would they want to give out more Social Security if they don't have to? I mean, that's a broad statement, yes, but it's easier. If they can get rid of a population that they're spending so much money on, and, they give them treatments and all that, and it doesn't work, and they did a little bit, and they don't have to give somebody money in their retirement, that's more money in their pocket. Sometimes in these kind of situations, it ends up that way. I'm taking my soft pastel and I'm making these black, these leaves. It's good. This is a Gothic style rose. I mean, maybe this is a conspiracy theory in me, but I don't know. I just see these things and I don't know why these can't be the most important thing going on. I really don't. Because I think this is way more important than anybody's business right now. Is people potentially dropping dead. I have seen through COVID people suffering. And I mean human suffering. People asking me about their existence, not being able to see their loved ones, and I have seen it, and I was literally the last person they've seen sometimes. And they died. And that's just facts. And it's sad. to have to die this way. And I watched them all die. I did what I could for them, and I prayed for them, because what else are you supposed to do? Even if you're an atheist, you gotta have compassion, because everybody deserves a little bit of caring in their last days. And if you get some kind of crazy illness and you're not, and you can't see anybody, you gotta have a kind word before you die. I believe that anybody that's mean to anybody that's sick, it's not a very good thing to begin with, but I think it gives you some of the worst karma. I do. I mean, most nurses, they might have, like, sometimes come off as mean, but honestly, they care about the patients. They just have a different way of going about it, and some family members kind of get butthurt. But you know what? If you're not there and you don't know how mom's condition is, I don't know what to tell you. Medically speaking, a lot of times, they act one way around the family and act one way around us, but we become their family in a sense. We really do. This is why I can't leave my job. It absolutely is why I cannot leave my job. Not, I mean, I think even if I don't know, if some miracle happened and I actually did become famous, which I would think the world was coming to an end, because who cares about the babblings of a medical person? But I would still go to the nursing home, and I would still visit my residents, and I would still bring them food. And I'd probably still honestly volunteer. Or not even volunteer, I just work there still. I probably would. Because I enjoy taking care of them, because I've been with them for so long. And when you've been through a lot of stuff with somebody, with like I have with residents, so that is really pretty. So I did the outline of black. And then I'm going to just play around with some other colors for the middle here. I bought these separate, and it was $3.50. But I'm not saying nobody's right or who's right and who's wrong. I'm just saying that we all need to come together for a better purpose. And I think eventually it will happen, because when it invades our food sources, that's when usually things draw attention to things. If the government thinks that it's gonna be getting into their food and they're gonna die because they didn't take care of this bacteria, that's when it's gonna start really taking effect, where people care a little. But this is why you should always pay attention to what's going on around you and how it's playing out. Because you got to pay attention to these things. Alright, I'm just taking my soft green pastel, and coming in this way. I'm just doing just little outlines here. They're going to be green, they're just going to be outlined green. Because she just seems like an abstract art person. But yeah, I mean, I do think deep thoughts, but that was my deep thoughts because I'm obsessed with this garbage issue, because it sits there. The animals know no better. They're going near this garbage. They're all getting sick. And I don't think enough people care about it. I think that should be our number one priority. No one should care about no one's sexuality or who's sleeping with who, or this whole if you're married to a man or a woman thing. I mean, it just, to me, this has always been a thing. In England, it was always where sometimes, I forgot, I think it was King Edward III. What was the second? I want to say King Edward III, I think, or something, or it was something like that. I can't think of, I don't know if it was the third or second. But he was married to a woman because he had to be, and he had a man on the side. I mean, these things have been going on all through history, and sometimes I think people focus way too much on certain things. Because it doesn't matter who people are sleeping with or how they identify themselves. But it does matter when you can eat a hamburger and drop dead. That matters. So I don't know. I'm hoping somewhere in the I don't know, in the long scheme of things, somebody comes up with something. Because I don't know. It's not going to be a happy day for any of us if bad things come. And I think that something will be fixed, but be careful what you consume, friends. Please do, because I mean, I really am not used to subscribers because I'm from Facebook. We just call everybody friends. That's it. Followers are friends, and that's it. They call it that, and I think it's a nicer way of putting it, because if you was just, when you subscribe to somebody, you just want to hear them and you like them. So that means that you like their content, or you like their singing, or whatever the reason. But you like them, and you like your friends, just like I like my friends. So that's just how it is. And then there's some people, they are your long distance friends that you might get to see or you might not, and then you gotta get an event going to see them. And this is where you get like all your entertainers putting all these elaborate concerts together. I like to think of life in abstract things. But yeah, you guys are all my friends. Because I go to work and I look at sad dog videos, and now I'm looking at all the medicines they're using when all these animals are getting infected. So, because if I ever had it got big enough and I was going on an animal rescue, I got to get this yellow stuff. Got to. What am I supposed to do if they got barnacles? I mean, all through YouTube, all these animals, they have either parasitic bacteria and they're covered with it, or they got barnacles. And if I got to come across that, plus there was one guy, laugh out loud, he was not wearing a bikini like the one lady was while they're cleaning up barnacles, but he was actually wearing a whole bodysuit. So I knew this guy was legit, because there's no way when you're dealing with something like that, you're going to try to have all your skin exposed. You'd be stark mad for that. Stark mad. But I need to get this yellow stuff by the gallons. And I do mean by the gallons. I need to get the super size. Maybe Amazon has some. I don't know. Maybe I need to look into it and find out exactly what brands they are. Alright, now I did all the leaves. Now I'm going to do more purple on the inside. But yeah, if I go on a little rescue mission, we're going to have suits. Whoever comes with me. We're going to have probiotics for the animals. And hell, we'll just get COVID suits at this point. Because I don't know if that stuff touches you, it could get on you. And then you're going to be in the same problem as the poor animal we're saving. So yeah, there's gonna have to be a whole lot of that. I don't even know how expensive that is. But it doesn't look like a horrible process. You put it on and then you scrape it. But the thing is what's under there, and then there's pus and it pops out. So you'd have to have kind of like a zombie apocalypse stuff going on. So there would have to be some kind of gear. So if I went on any rescue missions with some animals, we would have to be all geared up. It'd be nasty, and then we're gonna have to get gloves. We're gonna have to get a lot of gloves, and I don't mean some gloves. We got to get a lot. We got to get the value pack of gloves. You're gonna have to triple glove with something like that. I don't know what else to say. You would just have to. I mean, I love the animals and all, but you're not helping no one if you're getting the same damn problem they got. And this is true facts. It's absolute true facts. We can't have that happening. So everybody would have to have 3 boxes of gloves, if not 10. We'd have to spend go to Amazon or Walmart, and we'd have to get just packs and packs of gloves. I don't know. This would have to be in the pack, in the gear. It would have to be. And then probiotics. We'd have to get probiotics, and then we'd have to have somebody to equal it out, and syringes, because they'd have to get it put in directly in the wound. That would be the easiest way of doing it, directly there, just a direct shot right in where all that was there, because it takes off the first layer, superficial. It ends up being a superficial wound, and it takes off the first layer of skin. That's the thing. That's what we're dealing with. And once that is, if any part of your body touches it, then it could transfer to a new host as it kills off its other host. So we can't have that. So don't all you guys go out there trying to get these barnacles off people. And please, to God, do not, if they've got infectious bacteria, some of these animals, don't try to be a hero. Don't. I guess if you're already a doctor and you're in the area and you have all the equipment and know-how, it's fine. But if you don't have gloves and these probiotics and everything you need, please don't attempt to do anything like this. I think some of these videos encourage people to, and there's going to be people that's going to be going around doing this. They are, because all these popular videos are going around. And there was a lady, I forgot, it was, I think, when I was on Facebook. She was letting in endangered animals in her house and taking care of them. And these were endangered animals that can make her sick. And they were encouraging her not to do this. And she was an elderly lady in her 80s. So, there's these people that are going to be superheroes going around. And they're going to get themselves infected with this. So, there was a whole movie about this kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys seen All of Us. It's like this, where this fungus kind of takes over, and once it affects your brain, you literally are done with, and you turn into like a monster type thing, and then you get this growth that comes on you, and you look disgusting. But you're not you no more. you're just kind of what that creature is. You don't know if we're dealing with something like that. I mean, it could evolve to something like that eventually with if we let this go on too long. And they've done movies about it. If you think about it, and most movies have some kind of truth because I love script writing. Eventually, if I get a lot of money, I want to write a movie. In every writer, there's some shred of truth, even though it's exaggerated a little bit from the movie. When they write it out, they're writing on a base idea. And that TV series, All of Us, or the rest of us, that with that, that's the true thing, or it could happen, but it hasn't, but it could. So, no, it's the rest of us. Sorry, I was watching that. I was binge watching that for a while. But yeah, don't go trying to save an animal and try to get yourself infected because you're better off just trying to get help from professionals. And sometimes I think that some of these groups, they're wonderful. I get it, but I think they encourage the average person to go in there and a lot. They can have a lot of things that infect us because our environment, whatever's on that damn ocean and stuff, for whatever reason, because there's stuff in the ocean we don't even know about, and some of it's not good. Okay, I'm getting this black and rubbing that in too because I kind of wanted this nice black effect. You just play around with these pastels. They're so much fun. Oh my god, I have so much fun with pastels. And I have all this paint. I really do. I got a ton of paint, and here I am with my pastels instead. Go figure. I'm trying to master pastels, and then I'm gonna go back to like painting a little bit too. My new art teacher Sharon, laugh out loud. I haven't seen her. Maybe I'll see her tomorrow. A lot of times they have me on memory care. Sometimes on my weekends. We'll see. I'm gonna rub just the sides of these leaves in because I want it to be very. I want it to look realistic and like a portrait. If you want it to look like something you painted, like a portrait, this is kind of what you want. I'm rubbing on the leaves too. And this is exactly how the artists do it. You just take this pastel and go around the leaves. And you only rub certain areas. I'm just going like this, and I'm doing this middle right here. Wherever you want it to pop out at, that's what you do. I'm just doing right around the edges, around in here. And if you use your finger, do this. There you go. See how nice that looks? It looks lifelike like that. And I'm going to go back over the middle and put some more blue. And not blue, purple. I'm probably just going to use this chalky stuff here. To lighten it up and really get that purple in now. And this is what you do. You just kind of go around. So I wanted to get a real deep purple. And the chalky ones are really good for shading color. This is why I actually recommend having the soft and the other ones. But I don't mean to scare you guys. I don't. These kind of things, I'm a germaphobe and laugh out loud. I'm in medical, which is even a bigger laugh out loud, but it terrifies me. terrifies me because when you understand the pathogens and disease firsthand, sometimes when you're in medical, you overthink things and you sit there and you just be like, OMG, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? And you just going around like, what is wrong with these people? And you think of the worst case scenarios, you really do. But this is the life of a medical person. I'm gonna go in this flower and put more purple on top of this. Now that you smoothed it out, you can go with your soft pastels because they're going to give you a smooth finish either way. So you kind of want to touch it up with that. And you can redo it. You could, with pastels, you're constantly blending. I mean, I put purple and pink together and got that. So that's kind of where you want to be with it. And it's okay. But just go move it around and go in. It's like you got like a violet purple. Because you kind of blended in the black and you're putting the purple on top of the black, which is going to make it really nice. But it's crazy because I'm one of the only little nurses that's doing arts and crafts too. Those guys just go home and go to sleep. And I tell my friends they got their whole life to sleep. I do. I tell them that. I tell them, I was like, I get it. You're doing great things, but why not enjoy your life a little? Some of my friends just don't enjoy their life. They really don't. I think it's sad when people don't enjoy their life. Because life has a lot of different possibilities. It really does. Alright, we got the purple now. And you just play around with it till you like it. Like I got that. It's a bluish purple. But it's nice, but that's how you get the realistic look. And the realistic look is kind of where you want it to be. And you could make your little rose any which way you want. Like I said, every rose is different. They're like snowflakes. So, but we'll see. And I'm probably going to end, I think it's probably almost 11 o'clock here. So I'm probably going to go to bed. And I got my mushroom complex stuff that I guess I'm going to be high at work. I'm going to probably take 1 or 2 or 3 pills. Because my ass needs to stay awake. Maybe my brother will stop and give me one of those ghost labs. And I'll get me a energy drink too. Because I'll probably get 3 or 4 hours sleep and I work 12. But it does give me energy, and if it is making me high, it's not making me overly high enough to stay awake. But if I get too tired, I'm going to take more of those, and then I got the fish oil and all this other stuff. But this as the end result. And I think it's a really pretty present. You can give that to anybody and save money. This is what I do. I don't buy nobody anything anymore. I just be making stuff. My coworkers love it though. Their birthdays be coming and they already know what they're getting. They're getting a crystal or they're getting a damn paint, and we're done with the whole transaction. I'll be like, I love you guys, but you get one or the other. I just got so many piled up. But it's not bad. And really, they're materials you already have around the house if you're a sketch artist that's playing around pastels. Posters are not that expensive. I'm gonna have my brother go pick me up some while I'm at work. And I'll probably only spend like, because I'm going to try to have them get me like at least 50 small ones like this. Probably, I don't know, probably won't be more than 10 or 15 bucks. You can't beat that price. So, you go to Etsy, they're expensive. Very expensive. God, they want $3 for something that looks shitty. And then some of them, they want like 50 and 60 bucks. I think they take in too much of the mushroom pills. That's crazy what they do. But I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to still try to do stream tomorrow. I'm going to take Chong out. I'm going to do my thought of the day. I've been doing that because there's this guy over here. And he had every day is a video about life quotes and everything. And he just takes a general quote and turns it around, and he looks all professional and cool, and he redoes it. And I'm like, how, what a genius thing, but I don't think I'm very cool. I just say the way I say it, and instead of talking about all this motivational stuff, I just kind of blow your mind with little stuff. Because I think deep. I don't think that. He just, it's all about other stuff, but I figured why not? If it's working for him, I'm going to try it. So I'm going to have daily thoughts of the day, and it's probably going to be about garbage and different stuff, issues. Because that's what I feel. I feel people should think outside the box. You should think universally why we're here. And they say we're specks from the universe, and the universe, we have like pieces of space that help make us. They say there was a chemical, and I forgot, I think it's DHP, that went into our water, and that's what made us more intelligent. And then if space didn't throw their dust on us, we wouldn't be as intelligent as we are. That's what they're calling for. I think it's DHP. I know it starts with a D. Don't quote me. It was on the Science Channel. But they say it's because this dropped down, and then, people were drinking it. And I guess, that we always want to procreate. And then as they're drinking this, the babies turned out smarter and smarter and smarter till we turned out smarter. And it made our brain development get better. That's what they're calling for on the Science Channel. And these scientists have nothing else better to do but learn all these different theories. And they research things for 10 years at a time. They really do. Stephen Hawking, I think he studied like 20 years. So I believe them. I mean, if you have a credible scientist out there telling you this stuff and they've studied it for 10 to 20 years, they can't be wrong. It's just like if somebody tastes something and everybody says it's dry and you don't believe it, and 100 people ate it, and then you go, damn, it is dry. It's the same concept. It really is. If these guys went to this much school and dedicated this much of their existence, I think they would want to make sure it's correct. Because for them to dedicate that much of their life to this kind of thing, they would find this interesting and they want to know the answers. And the only reason, the way they're going to know the answers is go to school and have access to a lab. That's why they get these jobs. I would have liked to be a scientist if I could have afforded the school when I was younger. But maybe my path was different. I don't know. Maybe in another lifetime I'll be a scientist or an archaeologist. I hope so. But you never know. But that's my deep thoughts of the day. So I guess be careful, and if you do got to eat meat until I kind of get down to the mystery of all of this infectious, nasty bacteria, make sure it's well done, at least, because you don't need to go out there dying, going to ICU over, you don't have to die over your meal. So, because I don't want anybody dying over their last meal. It's sad. And you guys are my friends, and I don't want any of you guys dying this way. We all should die in our sleep. Or hospice, with some Roxanol, some morphine, have the biggest high of your life, and meet the Reaper, and go to heaven, and have fun. That's the way we're supposed to die. We're not supposed to die from mad cow disease and all this crap. It's not the way. I'll take Roxanol. I don't care. I'll take me some Roxanol, some morphine, and when I get to that point, and I'm gonna have fun. You could be a drug addict if you're ready to die. If you're ready to die, they'll give you anything because you're dying. I find it crazy when some nurses will not give anybody morphine and they're literally dying. It's crazy. I have seen it happen, and I'm looking at them like they're dying. It's like, what they're not. How could you be a drug addict if you're dying? And this is hospice, but they don't do it that much no more. But they used to. I don't know. But now you get anything you want, and there's nothing. If you're hospice, literally, if you code, they're not saving you, but they're gonna make sure you feel no pain, which is a blessing. Trust me. But I'm gonna bid you guys good night, and I'm sure I'll find something else insightful to talk about tomorrow. Maybe more bacteria. I don't know. We'll see where my brain takes me for the day. And thank you if you subscribed to go on my friends list. I'm calling it the friends list because right now I have 899 friends last time I checked. I'm hoping to have more than 899 friends. But if I only have 899 friends, it's more than the friends I have now, so at work, so I'll take it, but I'm hoping to have at least 900 friends. So hopefully, if you subscribe, we're going to just call it the friends list. If you want to join the friends list, you could hear my insightful babble about bacteria and things about crazy stuff about my friends at work every day, because they're going to it's going to be 12 hours of hell tomorrow, and somebody's going to be acting stupid, so you can hear about it. Because medical places have more drama than the soap operas. This is why I just worked the weekend. So, but thank you for listening, and I appreciate you guys. I really do, and hopefully I gave you some knowledge besides the bacteria and all that of how to, a lot of people can draw, but while you're doing your sketches, how you can make it look really nice. Because it's very relaxing. It's very relaxing. And you might as well make it look good, and this is how you make it look good. And I want to share this knowledge because art school is expensive. It's over $50,000. One of the nurses is sending her daughter to art school, and it's $50,000. That's a lot of money. So I'm showing you, the stuff that the professional ladies are showing me for free. So you can have fun with your family and use it as an activity, or just if that interests you. And it's always good if it's free. So this is what I say. I'm a lover of free. So you guys have a good night because I'm gonna go sleep and hopefully I survive the day. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably be late because I have to work till 7 p.m. So it'll probably be a late stream like this one. And then I'll tell you about all the work drama. And if I have any more half-cock theories, I'll let you know about that too. Hopefully a scientist one day joins the Chong family over here and it goes on the friends list and maybe could give clarification to some of my theories and help me. I don't know. I had a volcano list of someone that studied volcanoes on my when I was on Facebook. I wouldn't mind a medical scientist at this point helping me because I think they could give light to my question. Maybe over here I could find that person. I don't know. But I will see you guys tomorrow. And I'll probably unload, do all my other videos and in that one video, the daily thoughts from Chong the dog. I gotta compete with that other guy. I'm number 3 in shorts. I would like to be number 1. And this daily thought, this daily motivational stuff with this guy looking all cool and everything, he's always number 1. That or I don't mind if the animal shelter's number 1, but this guy just goes on talking about stuff his mom said, and he's number 1. I feel somebody can knock him out. There has to be. It's so simple, this formula, so I'm trying. I want to go from 3 to 2 in shorts. I would like to. But we'll see how my fate is this week, friends. And I bid you good night, and I will see you tomorrow.